Hello everyone and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires. Today we've learned a very important lesson. When the baby is sick, everybody gets sick. And so full of all kinds of medicine, both herbal and synthetic, we sit down to watch Hera playing as the Goths in blue take on the Viper, playing as the Tatars in yellow. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Goths are about as single-minded as a civilization can get by pushing its players towards one military building alone, the barracks. These structures start at the game working 20% faster than normal, can be upgraded to work more than 200% faster, which does help the Goths out, is fantastic for them, because in Imperial Age, the Goths actually get 10 free population space, capping out at 210 compared to the usual 200. Now, any Goth infantry unit does become progressively cheaper as the game goes on, all the way up to 35% cheaper in Imperial, making them absolutely spammable AF. And those very same Gothic infantry units do get a progressive attack bonus against buildings, which makes them quite good at taking down castle structures in the late game and essentially doing what Goths are supposed to do. Now, the Goth barracks itself can be upgraded to train the unique unit of the Goths, the Huskarl. This is a decent infantry unit with one important set of Liam Neeson-style skills. He basically looks up at any archer in the game. He picks up the phone, he calls that archer and says, "I will find you, and I will kill you." Huskarls come with a big attack bonus against archers and base armor that basically makes them immune from almost all archer fire in the game. Now, to support a big, hungry population, Goth hunters are stronger, they carry more, and their hunt lasts 20% longer. They also get loom researched immediately in just under a second, which means their villagers, you can see Hera already has loom, are much harder to kill right from the very get-go. Now, pivoting to the northeast portion of the map, we've got the Viper playing as the Tatars, a civilization that does whatever it can to push you towards mounted units. Their cav archers come with extra line of sight. They get Parthian tactics and thumb ring for free. Some of their mounted units can be upgraded to get extra armor, and both of their unique units, that's right, they've got two. Man, the deer are stubborn. Both of the Tatar unique units are mounted. The first is the Flaming Camel, basically a mounted petard unit, except it comes with a massive attack bonus against cavalry, camels, and elephants, so perhaps not a unit we are going to see today, but never say never. And the second is the Keshik, a medium cavalry unit that actually generates gold every time it pokes and prods its enemy units or opposing units, which in the late game wants gold. Where are you, gold? This becomes more and more scarce and raiding becomes more and more frequent. A unit that generates gold whenever it pokes an enemy unit is invaluable. Now, once your army is out on the field of battle, very important for the Tatars to take the high ground, because instead of the usual 25% extra damage that units do on elevation in Age of Empires, Tatar units do 50% more damage, which becomes even more important in the later stages of the game once Trebs come out, because Tatar Trebs can be upgraded to get a massive +2 range boost, which doesn't sound like much, but a fully upgraded Tatar Trebs with Siege Engineers, Timurid Siegecraft, which is the name of the unique tech I just mentioned, 19 range on a Treb, basically means the Viper from his town center can destroy Hera's castles all the way over here. I'm, of course, just exaggerating, but 20 tiles is what? Something like this? Which is ridiculous in this game. Now, in order to feed their warriors and the beasts that carry them, Tatar herdables do contain 50% more food, and starting in Castle Age, whenever the Tatars build a new town center, it spawns 2 free sheeps. 2 free sheeps? 2 free sheep. I don't think there's an S at the end of sheeps. Oh my god, I did it again. I don't think there's an S at the end of the word sheep, plural, which, remember, because the Tatar herdables do contain 50% more food, means 300 free food for every town center, which might actually be one of the best town center / resource related bonuses in the game, in my opinion. In any event, both players are now at 19 villagers a pop. Let's take a look now that we've taken a look at the civilizations where the players have spawned, because I'm looking at the minimap, and in fact, the screen right in front of me, my goodness, this is about as open as you can get here. The Viper, primary gold and stone, both unknowingly exposed to the front, additional stone to the back, additional gold very far away. Luckily for him, not really on the attack path. Hera just now discovering where his opponent is located. Forests Forget about it. These forests are not going to help him at all. It looks like he has, I mean, depending on how far you want to zoom out, it looks like he's got 5 forests in a star shape here. But this is open. This is open. The flanks are open. Basically, the easiest wall off here is right here. Build a house, wall that off, and you're safe in the northern portion of your base as Hera hits Feudal Age a little bit ahead of his opponent. Now, you might be wondering why, off the back of the same villager count with the same upgrades, etc., did the, or rather not the same upgrades, but the same villager count, same 0 TC idle time, did the players go up a little bit different? Remember, the Goths, they get Loom in 1 second, whereas I don't think the Viper has even researched Goths yet. No, Loom, never mind, he has. But for every other civilizations, I should say for most other civilizations, not ones that come with a research speed bonus, but for 99% of other civs, it does take 25 seconds to research that tech. So as Hera pushes out, let's take a look very quickly at his base. Oh man, the exact opposite of the Viper. Primary gold and stone secure to the back, additional gold also to the back, additional gold stone also kind of to the back off the beaten path. Wow, all 5 starting resources, nice and safe. This is about as ideal a spawn for our Goth as you can ask for when it comes to your resources. Now, forests, again, depending on how far you want to zoom out, he's either got 2, 3, 4, and we're going to ignore this. Also pretty much a very open base. And it looks like behind this, the Viper did manage to get a kill as a Gothic Spearman bites the dust. We'll have seen that in picture. I do apologize for missing the drawing of First Blood. Not something I generally want to miss. But wow, these bases, both of them are completely open. But I think in terms of location of resources, has the Viper actually, where is the Viper's closest unit? His scout is up here, so he's taken a bit of damage. So he's seen the primary resources, he's seen the secondary gold, hasn't seen the tertiary and the secondary stone. But he must know, hey, wait a second, this is a little bit unfair. Why are my resources right here? By the way, completely open. Now, luckily for him, he is facing off against the Goths, not exactly the most mobile of civilizations, not exactly the most mounted of civilizations. So we'll see. Now, against more, imagine these patches against, oh, I don't know, the Cumans, the Magyars, anyone on a horse, really. It would be bad news bears, and the Viper already is getting pushed off of his primary gold. He's in Feudal, has 174 gold as the action ramps up, but with defender's advantage and with a tiger at the moment. It is the Viper who tames Mother Nature herself and reclaims the forward position of his base. Is he going to send a villager to mine gold? Of course he is. Hera choosing this time to attack the tiger as the Viper's skirmishers continue pummeling him from behind the hill. And now it is the Tatar who takes, remember, 50% more damage. So when you're playing the Tatars, if you're a player of the game, you know, some people play, some people watch. Some of you are just voyeurs who like to turn off the lights, get into your comfy clothing. Maybe you know, turn up rather a little bit of soft music and watch some Age of Empires. But those of you who play, if you're playing as the Tatars, always keep an eye out for where the heck is the elevation and how the heck can I use that elevation to my benefit. For now, 7-4 is the kill count. I do apologize. I don't know why I'm confusing tenses and words all of a sudden. I do speak English, I promise. Hera knows he can't let his opponent take the high ground, so he is positioning himself as much as possible. At the moment, he has 0 gold. And not only that, 0 villagers on gold. Okay. He's not really training anything as Hera. He's just losing army supply. Even the Viper is training 3 villagers to Hera's too. Okay, now that I say that, a scout, 2 skirmishers, and horse collar. Horse collar not exactly going to come in handy here unless these skirmishers decide to throw those collars at these skirmishers. But let's take a look at the respective HPs. Okay, so the Viper has more units. They're healthier. They're stronger. They've had their Flintstone vitamins. For those of you who, like me, grew up in the 90s and understand that reference. And now the Viper is going to be as annoying as possible. Hera's army pivoting towards the Viper. Okay, so we've seen Hera do this a lot. When he comes under any kind of pressure, defends at home, and immediately sends out his army to the other side. The Viper's got 550 gold in Feudal Age, 8 villagers on gold. Is he expecting a huge, massive push into here? That all of a sudden he's trying to hoard enough resources to go up to Imperial? Or is he just going to buy the food needed to go up to Castle? We'll find out. for now. Not really accomplishing too much. He's got 1 villager kills. I see the lumberjacks back melting into the sand here. I say sand, it looked kind of like dead grass. This is like Arabia in the autumn, and whoa, he catches out a couple of Hera's sheep. Why are these sheep not underneath your town center? Why are these sheep just roaming around? Okay. So Hera, not a fan of, what's the word I'm looking for? Factory farming, industrial farming. He lets his sheep roam free, his herdables. They can, you know, graze on whatever's left on this autumnal Arabia map as the last of the Viper's expeditionary force gets cleared up. Yes, it does. You bastard. Right as his skirmisher was about to die, the Viper lames the sheep. Not something we've seen happen very often here. It looks like there's been some action here as well. Hera's managed to get 2 villager kills and now completely unopposed. He might get more. He's definitely going to try to go after that the spearman. But 5 skirmishers, even with +1 attack, against a loom full villager who has 2 pierce armor, may not accomplish much, but you know what will accomplish much? Bringing in some reinforcements. Hera's army count here is all of a sudden a dozen to 1. So now the Viper off of his goal, but does he care? He's 55 seconds away from Castle Age. So, okay, he's going back. He changes his mind. I can't get over that sheep attack. Oh my goodness, I think that's the first time we've seen the Viper do something like that, or at least I have. Maybe he's in a bad mood. Who knows? You never know. There's always, oh goodness, when your gold can't be mined, I guess this is what you have to do. Does the Viper know where his additional resources are? Yeah, he does. But like I said, these are very far from the town center, completely undefended and undefendable. Oh, you're not getting into my rear end, says the Viper as he closes the gate, puts up a chastity belt. And Hera backs away? Your opponent has 0 army count, but he's hit castle. That is amazing. It's enough to hit Castle Age, even though Hera has vision of everything. He knows the entire military industrial complex of his opponent. And he knows, for example, there's no stable. I guess there is 1 stable, so maybe 1 knight will pop out, but immediately backs, so he doesn't want to lose any of these villagers. He's got these army units. He's got plans for them. Might want to upgrade them at some point to light cav or maybe to elite skirmishers. But as I was saying, you never underestimate, never forget that these players at the end of the day are human. And I've seen so many streams where, I'm not going to name specific names, but you guys know the streamers I like to watch, whether it's Huang, the Viper, Hera, MBL, Doubt, Survivalist, Gabby, Gookie, who is another awesome up-and-coming Age of Empires player. Sometimes they're just not in good moods. Sometimes they're just not, you know, mentally 100% in the game. And so that's why sometimes you'll see me shy away from critiquing a little bit, because I you know, maybe to say something's wrong. I'm obviously not, I'm not going to hesitate if I think a move is wrong, but to say it's wrong and then add some kind of layer of judgment on that, I don't know why I'm going down this tangent. The bottom line is the Viper put up a wall. Hera's backing away. He's going up to Castle Age. He's in Castle Age. We'll see what he decides to do. Yep, elite skirmisher, bloodlines, and bodkin for him. So that's why he wanted to keep his army around for as long as possible, because he plans on upgrading them even more. Now, especially if the Viper is going to start pumping out the Tatar cav archers. He doesn't have a castle, which means they don't come with silk armor, meaning the extra +1/+1 armor that the Tatars can put on their cav archers. By the way, that applies to their cav archers, their scout line units, and their steppe lancers. So it is a pretty good upgrade to get. It's not an expensive upgrade at 300 gold by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a fantastic upgrade to get. But once these scouts become light cav, their armor is going to jump up to, oh, he doesn't have any armor upgrades on them. Okay, so it's going to be a base of a 3, or a 2 rather. But Hera, if he's going to go the counter play to cav archers with light cav, might want to start investing in some armor upgrades, because right now 2 armor against the unit that attacks on an 8 is not that fantastic. He's instead going on armor upgrades for his skirmishers, a unit that already comes with 4 pierce armor. Interesting choice. I thought for sure he would get armor upgrades on his light cav. Let's take a look as the players kind of circle one another. Not really, I guess both players not really wanting to take a big engagement at the moment. The Viper wants to avoid the skirmishers, the archers, the light cav want to close in on the cav archers. Both players sitting at 44, 45 villagers a pop. More armor upgrades for his skirmishers. I'm not too sure about armor upgrades for skirmishers at the moment. The skirmisher again now has 5 pierce armor against a unit that attacks on an 8. But more importantly, it's really the bonus damage. The archer +4, the cav archer +2. So that's an extra 6 damage. Your opponent has mobility. He doesn't even see the skirmishers chasing. The skirmishers don't see the cow. Oh, they saw this, just the tip. And now Hera goes on the offensive. So the Viper is doubling down on cav archers. Does have forging for his knights, so they will, or rather it, the single knight that's out, will clear out. Ooh, okay. A fantastic hold there by the Viper, who continues to mine gold. I mean, this is incredibly risky. Am I missing something? Why is he another tiger jumps into action? Why is he mining this gold? Has he seen the gold at least to the north? No, he hasn't. In a bit of a crater. There you go. Players disengage yet again. And now finally, chain barding armor, having gotten the first armor upgrade. I mean, this light cav has 2 HP. I don't care how much armor you have, unless you're a Teutonic Knight, unless you're a Boyar. That amount of armor doesn't, not going to save you at all. Tiger confused, moving this way, moving that way. How annoying is that? You have to, not only are you fighting against Hera, the best player in the world at the moment, you also have to deal with this annoying tiger that every time he closes, swipes a little bit of damage off your units. That's the Viper sending over here cav archers. They will be able to maybe pick off a few villagers. Second town center going up for our Goth, who is now down 4 villagers in total. Army count's identical, though. I don't know whose army is better here in direct engagement. I believe the Gothic army is much stronger because of the counter nature of the skirmisher, but its HP is down 30%. Mobility, though, going to the Viper. I mean, what is this? Is he just keeping this unit around as a pet? Okay, finally, it does go down. That's annoying to have to deal with that in the middle of all of this. How is it that Hera's down villagers with a second town center? Was he not building, not training villagers? The Viper's going up to 55. Hera's going up to 54. Okay, so I guess it's only really a matter of time. Viper adds a monastery, adds another archery range. So now how many archery ranges is he up to? 3. Okay, 3, and he's training 1 cav archer at a time. Hera must be happy to continue this, by the way. As long as he can keep the Viper off of the additional resources, he must be pretty happy here. Is the Viper even mining stone? Yeah, he's got 2 villagers now, 4 villagers on stone. Okay, so he's taking that stone instead of this stone because this stone's outside of the wall off that he created. A 3rd town center. Oh, goodness. Now Hera's ahead 1 villager. The Viper hanging out with a couple of untamed horses here, some wild mustangs. 0 kills for you. 2 kills for you. On the whole, total kills are fairly even, 35 to 32, about half an hour into the game. And now he gets bloodlines. Oh, goodness. Does he have husbandry? He doesn't even have husbandry. So the Viper is going quantity at the moment, realizes that and says, wait a second. Maybe I'd like some quality as well. And so adds bloodlines. Might want to start adding in husbandry because at 1.4 tiles a second, Hera's 1.49 tile a second moving knights are definitely going to be able to catch up, which is not something we see every day. And this should signal to the Viper that he is missing husbandry. The fact that these knights, not exactly the fastest on their feet, are catching up to the scout cav. I don't know why I'm confusing tenses, plurals, and a bit of a trap. He runs the gauntlet, gets an ass paddling, and dies, as does the tiger. Hera wants nothing to do with any kind of annoying, long-lasting attack as the Viper was putting up with. And where's the Viper going with his army? Okay, patrolling. Is he expecting Hera to be over there in the south? He's now down 11 villagers. Okay, so Hera's economy is getting jacked to the hilt. 3 town center. The Viper's still on 1. He is now down both army count and total population. 112 to 92. That's a 20 population difference. He is moving forward with mangonels. Here's getting a university, I'm assuming for what? Ballistics, maybe? For the skirmishers? He does have 26 skirmishers. Let's see it. The Tatar is kind of on the high ground, kind of not. Yeah, you want to stop right here. You want to stop right here and try not to go any further. Is there any high ground? Yeah, there is a high ground here where those mangonels could plop themselves. But this is slowly. I mean, I'm hesitant to say, because slowly, the Viper's amassing a death ball of cav archers, whereas slowly, the Gothic economy is just outgrowing and outpacing him. He's down 20 villagers now. Okay. The Viper agrees that he's got to get something done here. These skirmishers are gonna be so annoying. They push him off. Viper's got no gold. Just now, he's long distance mining the gold. Oh no. Oh, that's so terrible. But he's dropping a castle. In come the cav archers. One dies immediately. Another one dies immediately. Oh, this is atrocious. Luckily for him, ballistics not quite yet researched. Here is deleting farms. We know what that means. Where's your castle, Mr. 700 stone? Right there. Interesting game sense out of both players. The Viper, has he seen these town centers? He's seen 2 town centers. I mean, this one he's seen in Feudal. Now he's going to see the 3rd. Remember, Tatar cav archers do come with extra line of sight. So the more south they move, is he going to see it? Yeah, he sees it. So now he knows he's down 3 town centers. Oh, go back. Or maybe not go back. The castle is at 80% completion. It looks like Hera lost his skirmishers. But now the knights are going to attack this. Oh, he loses his mangonel. He's losing villagers. Wow. Holy moly. What happened there? What the hell happened in the last couple of minutes? The Viper was on par, and look at him now. He's down 34 villagers out of 58. What the hell happened in the last couple of minutes? Those skirmishers really did a number on him. But why did he resign? I mean, we kind of know why he resigned. He's down 32 villagers. He's down army count. And I guess this is why I was so hesitant, because the nascent death ball versus the growing economy of the Goths, and the Viper just says, forget it. What? Actually, you know what? What amazing game sense out of both players. The Viper realizing, not now, but looking at the score, he realizing he's not his first game. Let's put it like that. He knows that he's not ahead. He knows he's down. He knows he's got 58 villagers at the 35, let's say, minute mark. When did he send these villagers out? Like 3 minutes ago? Let's say 33, 34 minute mark of the game. He must have been at like 50 villagers, okay? He knows half an hour into a game against Hera, he himself has only killed 3 villagers. He doesn't know anything else, right? He doesn't have the God's eye view like we do. So this is what the Viper knows. Doesn't know that they're about this just yet, because remember, I'm assuming 4 minutes ago. He knows he's only got 50 villagers. He knows he's down in score. He knows he hasn't done any major economic damage to his opponent, and he knows his opponent is the Goths. And so he knows he's got one chance, and that is to do some big, fancy, all-in maneuver off the back of one town center. And that is exactly what he does. Now, Hera probably also knows that. And so, having amassed 700 stone, he didn't place his castle until the Viper placed his. So he's countering the castle. And the Viper sees it and knows immediately, had he placed the castle here to try to bust in, I'm assuming Hera would have put his castle here. Had he put the castle maybe somewhere here, Hera would have put it on the hill over here. So Hera reacting to Viper's actions, both players, just amazing game sense. Now, I might be reading a bit too much into it. I might be seeing things where things don't exist. But assuming I'm right, which, all of us think we're right all the time, just amazing game sense. But what happened here? I want to see, did the Viper know about the knights? He must have seen the, no. And so he finally, okay, so he clears up the skirmishers. They're done. He must be thinking, okay, I'm sitting pretty. I finally got my gold mining operation back. This gold mine is here, completely exposed, by the way. I'm sitting pretty la-di-da-di-da-di-da. But Hera has other plans. And out of the ether, look at this. Out of the ether. Oh my goodness. And the Viper sees it, to his credit, immediately evacs those villagers. Wow. But out of the fog of war pop out 15 knights. And now the Viper has been pushed off his primary gold, his secondary gold, although mining, and although there is, for some reason, one cav archer here, this is a completely exposed mining operation. And now he lost his mangonel. I think he came with 2, and he lost the second one as well. Now his villagers are getting, oh my goodness, killed by the mangonel. So the 1 punch, the 2 punch, the 3 punch, the 4 punch. I don't know. I don't know enough about boxing to know how many punches it takes to take somebody down, but I'm assuming all these body blows are enough to knock the Viper, and he realizes, okay, now I'm just way too far behind. Now that he saw the 3rd town center with those extra line of sight light cavalry, or I did it again, cav archer units, he's losing villagers, and now he knows he's got no way into this base. And even if he gets into the base to the left, the Viper, Hera's on the right. And if he goes to the right, if he can somehow avoid 2 mangonels, well, then Hera's got operations here to the left and lots of space to expand farming into the left. And now Hera, by the way, in addition to being walled up quite well, is also on the other side of the map with no fewer than 15 frickin' knights fully armored for Castle Age. And the Viper just says, oh, okay, I tried my all in. I know I'm down. I'm looking at the score. I'm down like, what is that? 1,400. So 35% down in score. I know I've killed very few of your villagers, which means your economy must be double the size of mine, which it is. And so he realizes it's just way too far behind at the moment. 39 skirmishers are a brilliant move out of Hera to counter these 41 cav archers. And remember, they chased for a little bit, but then they chased no more. And where are these 15, by the way? Okay, so they're just kind of huddled here. So not only do the cav archers have to contend with mangonels, also ballistics enhanced elite skirmishers also upgraded to the hilt in Castle Age, and now Huskarls are starting to come out. I wish we waited just 1 more second for this unit to pop out. I love looking at it. 20 knight skirmishers. So on the whole, just like I said, the better army composition for Hera, who towards the end just, I guess, got a few villagers here with the skirmishers, got a few villagers here with the mangonels, and even though the total villager kill count is 13-3, so not the craziest of villager kill counts, and the total kills are 51-50. How freaking close was this game? At the end of the day, just the fact that the Viper is so far behind, his game sense tells him that he can't compete with a triple town center, fully defended castle with a freaking Huskarl transition to his cav archers, and the Gothic spam is about to begin. The Goths are one of the worst civs to face in the late stages of the game if you haven't prepared for them. And as much as he, like I said, put up a chastity belt to his rear end here with these very cool palisade gates, they are gonna basically, the Huskarl needs to sneeze, and these palisade gates will fall. And with the falling of the Huskarl gates and my inability to speak English, let's take a look at the stats. Oh goodness gracious, what is that? 8,000, almost 40% bigger economy, and he doesn't have any relics to the one of his opponent. I'm shocked that the Viper somehow managed to get even one of these resources more than Hera. But a little bit more wood for Hera, a lot more food for Hera. Well, there you go. There's your melee cavalry and your skirmishers and your Huskarl transition. Gold almost identical, which is interesting for a player that had gold very exposed to the front compared to a player who had his gold very secure to the back. Now, I don't know how much the placement of resources really mattered in this game. Neither player, or rather, I shouldn't say neither player, the Viper, not really putting on any kind of aggression here, whereas Hera just parked his army here 3 times, I think 4 times, if you count the skirmishers who, oh goodness, look at this, nice and lined up for us, very OCD pleasing on the eyes. And yeah, he just pressed on that, and conversions none, raising low, look at that, not a single building destroyed. So even though the Goth didn't really Goth that much this game, and even though I talked them up about being the, pushing players towards the barracks, and then not a single unit came out of the barracks, doesn't really matter. Every civ, I should say most civs, are quite versatile, and so it is Hera who, with the skirmisher play, the mangonel defense, but more importantly, the game sense to know to wait for the castle drop. I think that's what happened. he waited for the castle drop, just like when you're playing arena and your opponent tower pushes into you. You want to see where their tower goes before you place your tower. It doesn't make sense to place your tower on the left side of your base if your opponent's going to push it on the right side. And I think Hera, playing a little bit arena style here, realized that. And with the absolute massive economic lead, the Viper tried an all-in, even though, like I said, he was developing quite the Deathball army. The Tatar Cav Archer, with that extra armor, is pretty darn good, especially since, like I said, they get Thumbring Parthian tactics for free. So had he gone up to Imperial, yeah, they are roided to the hilt. And I'm going to stop saying that expression because I think I've said it like 4 times today. But ultimately, the Viper tries an all-in off the back of one town center. His gold gets denied for an umpteenth time. His primary gold isn't even mined out. Hera with the reactive castle, Hera with the strong defense, and most importantly, the huge economic lead takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.